And we're live. It's alive. Okay, hi everybody. How are you today? Switch this off. Hi. So, welcome to the stream. It's Wednesday. All day. The 19th. It's the 19th already. This year's just flying by. Okay. Hi, my name is Christopher Runciman. Run C Man. Welcome to the One Page Story Extravaganza. This is episode 136 this year, and basically the gist of it's this. I get inspired when people give me one-page suggestions, one-page ideas. And whenever these come my way, I try to produce at least one finished one-page story every day. And sometimes there'll be more than one page, and sometimes they will, I will do a number of different one-page stories a day, but for the most part, it's one-page story a day. And right now we are on, I have lost count at this point again. I don't tab it down somewhere, but we're on our way to 200 pages in 200 days. So 200 days of the year. So that's fun. That's exciting. So if you like what we're doing here, don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up and all that jazz. Dee Dee's joined us. Hi, Dee Dee. I'm not sure if Denise is still there, but she is. Hi, Denise. Thanks for stopping by for the frivolity. That's kind of what we have here, too, is a little bit of frivolity. This morning was a lot of fun on Dee Dee's channel. If you're not following Dee Dee, you really should be. Because not only is it insightful and gives you lots of insights into different crafting skills and collaging skills, but just general art practices that I think that she has that a lot of people, especially those that are starting out, can really benefit from. And it's something to be shouted out and supported through the larger art community. I can't stand artists that see everybody else's competition, and because there's no time, we don't have time for that. I got a Jerry Saltz quote that I want to talk about today, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But in the meantime, let me finish off this morning wrap. Dee Dee says her daughter Denise had to head back through Atlanta. Well, I hope she drives safe, misses all that rush hour traffic. Okay, so this is yesterday's page. It's up on the screen right now. Before I forget, this is the page that we started. It was called Pets Go on Strike. So that's what I put the title up as. And thank you, Salty Snacks, for this suggested idea. It was a lot of fun. There's a couple of little fed-in ideas there. Tori's No More Leashes is in there. Just a lot of fun. I did this page using pencil crayons. So that was fun. And then the text is digital as per usual. And the size is 11 by 17. If you want to see the original, hey, they are up on my Patreon. Yeah. The other thing that I've been doing lately is that I have a Substack that showcases all of the pages that I have been doing for the week. And so each Monday, I post the previous 7 days worth of pages. So that's a lot of fun if you just want to sit down and look at them all in one running stream. So, and there's no cost on Substack. So, but a big thanks to the two patrons that I have, David and James. The two big patrons are been with me for a long time and very much appreciated. Without further ado, if you have a one-page story or idea that you want to suggest, please feel free to do so in the chats or in the comments afterwards, in the comments on social media, or you want to send me a weird message, or pigeon carriers work. Pigeons still work out there. You could probably have one figure out how to get to my place. I will take the little thing off of his ankle and set him free. So, other than that, let's get to work on today's page. Dee Dee says the animals are great on that page. Thank you. Thanks, Dee Dee. That's very nice here. I got bunnies and gerbils and fish. Oh my. Okay, so this is going in a pile. That's the pile. What have I got for today's page? I wrote it down. I did write it down somewhere. Today's page is... did I seriously write it down and then leave it in the book that I wrote it down? Last Man Yodeling is today's idea. And Petsko and Striking going to check off in the book. Ching! But today's suggestion is Last Man Yodeling. So, Jim Luhan suggestion. Now, I try to just arbitrarily pick whatever notion hits my head in any given moment. So, please don't think if you do have suggestions and you really want me to do them and I've missed you and they're getting late, let me know. Hey, fella, what about that suggestion I had about phlebotomy? Whatever it is. There we go. Last Man Yodeling. Exciting. Fun in the sun. So I'm going to do this in watercolor today. Let's switch cameras. Hey, it's Janet. Hey, Janet. How are you? The little thing in his ankle. Yeah. On his ankle. Yeah, I guess it's not embedded inside of him. Okay, so I've put up... No, I didn't. I didn't switch the cameras. I'm a silly monkey. Ah, there it is. All right. Let's kick a little more light onto this and hopefully not flare it out too badly. Did we flare it a little bit? This tiny bit? Fix yourself. Fix yourself, robot. Okay. Well, we're working on it. So I thought I'd do a little bit of watercolor for this one today. Last Man Yodeling. I have no idea. Before I forget, though, this suggestion. Oh, the new thing I'm going to do is every Thursday I'm going to do a 3-page prompt. I'm going to call it three prompt Thursday from now on. So hold me to that in case I forget what they're called tomorrow. 3 prompt Thursday because they're fun, and I was thinking of having 3 prompt Tuesday, but I got a 3 prompts today from watching Dee Dee's stream that, and then Julie Topaz, one of the, I think she is one of the moderators. I think she is. I don't know for sure, but she she jumped in on that because the suggestions were blue, topaz, and the headdress, and she says, "Oh, you can do with this me in this next page." And I said, "Okay, send me a picture." And she didn't think I meant it, so she did. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. Christopher puts splints on little pigeons' ankles. Is that a page suggestion? If it is, I'll write it down. Or is it just a comment for my weird hobbies? I don't know. Is that a weird hobby? Maybe it should be. Anyways, I'm excited. So I don't know if Julie knows what she's getting into sending a picture to me, because if you send me a picture of you, whoever's watching this, if you send me pictures of you, you will go on a page. You will. These are the rules. Okay. So before I get any further, I want to talk about tonight. Tonight at 10 p.m. EST and 7 p.m. PST will be a new episode of Jim Luhan's Hey Man, how's your movie going? Not how it's pronounced, but that's how I just did it. Hey man, how's your new movie going? It's going to have a new episode on Jim's stream tonight. JIMLUJAN. Okay, just before I get into our page, I'm doing a new thing at the start of each stream now. I'm showing some books. So let me try to catch up on the stream for a second. Oh, thank you, Dee Dee. It is Julie Topaz. Thank you. Tori's here. Hi, Tori. How are you? Okay. Anybody else that I haven't said hi to yet? Hi. Okay. Book time. So I try to show a little bit of everything these days, but I have an extensive amount of art books and graphic novels and things that people might not normally look at, in a given day. Jim Luhan's on tonight. Yes, indeed. 10 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. PST on Jim's channel. Okay, so what I thought I'd show you is a couple of things that I've picked up of late. This is Dementia 21. Dementia 21. Kago. If I'm mispronouncing that, I'm sorry. Now, the reason I keep trying to flip it over and show you the front of the book and having to flip it back over again is because this is the back of the book. These are manga. These are books from the Asian marketplace and in the Asian marketplace, whereas in the North American marketplace, and this is in accordance to the stories that I do as well, in the North American marketplace, a story goes from the top right corner, moves itself across to the top left corner, the top left corner, and across, and diagonally down, and across again to the bottom right corner. And the more panels you have on a page, the more complexity of the back and forth. But it starts in the top left, and it ends in the bottom right. Now, in manga and in Asian market stuff, it starts the opposite. In Western market, we start at on this face of the book that opens this way, okay? And we go, so we turn our pages this way, and we read from this way to the back. Asian market books, it's the opposite. They open this way, and they read from this page to what we call the front, okay? So this is how it rolls. Now, Dementia, it even has a table of contents at the other end of the book. So I really enjoyed these two books immensely. I bought them when I was still at the store before 2021. Yeah, I even got the second volume before I left the store. I don't know if there's a third. If there is, I'd be compelled to buy that. So what's really fun about these is they're really ridiculously weird stories about a young girl who works with seniors. She's a caregiver who works with seniors and people of diminished physical abilities. But these stories are nuts. So, I mean, the first story, she's doing really good with her ratings on everything and how she helps seniors out and gets a high rating with that. And so because one of her coworkers is sleeping with the manager, that's the whole conflict that sets her off for volumes, is that one of her coworkers is having an affair with her boss and she wants to be number one. So they keep giving her worse and worse clients. So that's the whole point of this entire series. It's just such a ridiculous thought, to say, well, why is so-and-so to get them? Well, because they're having an affair. He doesn't give her bad jobs. The woman he's having an affair with is going to tell his wife. Right? And yet it looks so cute. So, but the surreality of the drawings and the craziness of the stories, and this is the moment. Do it now, whatever it takes. I want to be number one. So she keeps getting worse and worse assignments, and she says, "Yes, sir, I'll pour my heart and soul into it." And so this lady there's one that's haunted. There's another house where it's got 3 ladies in a bed. And they keep multiplying. So, and everybody keeps dropping off their old people at this house, and until it starts almost spilling over with seniors. There's one where there's a possessed. It gets weird. Okay, it gets really, really weird. One woman has supernatural powers and dementia, and anybody that she forgets actually pops out of existence. So you can imagine how crazy these are. But the artwork is phenomenal, and there are such things as surreality. Like, look at these giant hands swinging around through the city. It's a cleaning hand. There's dirt here, there's dirt here, and so this giant finger actually makes a gigantic mess. But the art and its nuttiness is inspiring. So I've got 2 volumes of this. They're fantastically fun reads. You wouldn't think, when you think of manga market, you think it's all Naruto and all of these ninja people fighting, and it's not. There's so much more complexity to it than that as a marketplace. They do stories about everything. I like these because they're weird like me. What am I missing? I just want to make sure. Oh, Jim's on tonight. Yes, indeed. The Japanese are backwards to us. In the books, they are. Anyways, so these are wonderful. Anyhow, and Kago Dementia 21, volumes 1 and 2. So I wanted to show people these because they're so much fun. I mean, just look at the back covers. Here she is with all these telephones. Here she is with all these, iterations of her that all need to go out and do work. Just surreal ideas, but some of the stories get nuts. Like there's a virus of diapers in one. Okay, this is another one. This is Dimitri Alberti. That's the 2 creators of this book. I really, really enjoy these. And Francisco Dimitri is a fantastic writer, but the illustrations, Mario Alberti, I'm going to butcher names no matter what. So the storytelling in this is beyond. I mean, it's just okay, there's a little bit of nudity, but so I mean, shots like this lagoon, just lovely, just elegant. The line work is really nice. It's highly gestural, but some of these pages and some of these shots of lightning striking behind this car and crazy insane things that are happening in the course of the story. Ghost rides by on a bicycle and disappears into the ether. There's so many surreal moments in this. It even has a introduction by Neil Gaiman, who wrote the Sandman books, if you're unaware, and American Gods, the novels. So he's called the Italian Neil Gaiman. That's what they call Dimitri, and I don't think they're far off because he's very talented. Anyways, that's the books from the library today. I'm going to try to show a couple books at the start of every stream because I got a lot to get through. So who do we got joining in? Hey, it's Joshua Kendall. How you doing, sir? And Barbara Chicken Pot Pie Society. Oh boy, we got some great people coming up today. This is a lot of fun. There's cool effects in that one, Diddy. Yeah, there really are some incredible artwork in both of them. But that I think the Dementia ones are just. I can't do enough justice to it. I'm showing manga in equal measure to the European comic that the second one is, largely because I mean some of these pages and the complexity of the construction is incredibly involved work. And like, look at all the people caged here. These are all elderly shoplifters. Just nuts. But to sit down and draw those prison cells with all those arms coming through, that's a little bit of dedication. So Tori loves Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond. Yeah, fantastic writer. Whoops, I missed that. Looks like it was the darkest stormy night and the bridge was washed out. Oh yeah, and that in the second book for sure. Hey Seven, how you doing? Welcome aboard. Okay, so today we're gonna do. I thought it might help instead of this arbitrary nonsense that I put down at the start of on the title pages for the streams. If I just say what medium I'm using now. So the new book format is going to be a daily thing, and talking about the medium is going to be a daily thing, and the same stuff is going to apply. Always being open to people's ideas and so on and so forth. So we got a couple different paint palettes I'll be using today. I'm going to try some of this guy. Going to try some of this. Little bits of everything. I thought I had another one that was going to get in the mix too. Didn't I? Boy, you got a problem when you can't remember. Yeah, I did. This is the third one. This is another one that I picked up recently. These aren't expensive sets by any means at all. In fact, these two are really inexpensive. And they get milky really easy. So that's the thing you need to be aware of if you're shopping at like dollar stores or bargain stores and the like. Oftentimes, while it looks like the deal of a century to find these really, really inexpensive paint sets, recognize the milkiness of the value when you put it down. So if you have a black and white drawing and you wash over that black and white drawing with these colors, then those colors they're not going to be transparent. They are going to have some sort of milky quality to them on top of the inks. So just for those that are sure or not of that. What do we got? Barbara says Neil Diamond, Neil Sedaka, Neil Gaiman. Thumbs up. Thank you, Dee. That's very nice of you. Thanks for the reminder, Dee. Okay, we really appreciate everybody coming out today. What a fantastic bunch. Okay, so today's page is a suggestion from Jim Luan. It's Last Man Yodeling. And let's roll. I thought I'd do this in watercolors. I have yet to decide how I'm going to go about structuring this because I never do. But I think that what I'll start with is just some rough shapes, and then we'll build everything else with the color. How's that sound? That sounds great, Chris. Okay, great. I've lost my marbles. Today's music is the Grateful Dead. So, yeah, I'm in a headspace, that's for sure. Okay, so I got I'm afraid I got to clean my lens here at some point. And I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to make a mess of it. Well, let me try something. But I'm afraid I might have burnt my camera. Where'd it go? Did that do anything? No. Yeah, see, I think I got a spot in my camera. Yeah, we'll have to look into that. I might need to just get a new camera. I'm getting more and more organized as I go. Riri's joined us. Hiya, Riri. We're about to get cracking. That Perry Como is cool, Christopher. Oh, yeah. Pat Boone. Who else can we go through here? Pat Boone did a metal album, if you didn't know. Check it out. Pat Boone. It's interesting. It's an interesting album. There's a great sketch by Will Ferrell where he is pretending to be Robert Goulet. Never really thought was a singer. But Robert Goulet covering rap songs. It's good. It's good stuff. Anyways, okay, so what I've got to set up down here off camera is a piece of paper towel and these little trays of color. Now, the nicer pigments that I usually use, this German set, it's called Fine Tech. WS24. These are the ones that I predominantly use. The palette is really, really pretty, right? I mean, just the off tones that a lot of these colors are really touch my heart. So, and they got a gold, a silver. There is a Caucasian flesh tone here, and I find that this principal umber here is fantastic for doing African American tones, and so all around, just a really great set. I got it for $25 at a random little small town bookstore in a place called Bayfield, Ontario. Really high-end, posh little cottage country. But we stopped in War on Sec for a getaway for a couple days, Laurie. Now. Okay, Pat did it so cool. Perry Comover is pretty epic too. Oh, you got a star on that one. I purchased a nicer than saying I shoplifted 2 sets of Dollarama and our Canadian store, and they're ever so close to Kuretake watercolors. Even the packaging is the same. Wow, that's a nice set. I have to look into that. Where did you say that was? At a Canadian dollar store, close to the Kuretakes, eh? Those artist series. Okay. Okay. So we got Riri with us. Hiya. Am I caught up? I think I'm caught up. Oh my goodness. It looks like a makeup kit, but manly, Christopher. Well, thank you, Simon. Okay. Barbara loves that you called my my watercolor kit a makeup kit, but manly. She loves it. Okay, let's get cracking. Yeah, Last Man Yodeling. Well, that's rather gender specific, Jim. So let's just do whatever we want. Last Man Yodeling does not specifically have to mean men. I don't know. Finetech has great metallics. Dollarama Christopher. Yeah, the Finetech is, I think it's a lovely paint tray. And in fact, if we are ever up that way, I'm going to see if they have more, because I haven't seen it elsewhere. And I'm not one for ordering online. So Okay, so I'm going to do today's images in a little different format than I normally do. I'm going to throw down the drawings rather loosely, and then we're going to go with the color to build stuff up. So just because, guys. All right, we're trying something different today. I'm always trying something different, but I've done pretty solid. This is really light and loose pencils. This is the light on. I'm going to try this light on. There we go. Sorry for the flaring. Does that help at all? No. All right, so I'm just structuring this in, and if you're going to have somebody yodeling, by goodness, you'd better have them yodeling with an accordion. So that's where we're going to start. You know, just because. All right. Good enough. Let's go. Okay, so yeah. Nice recording over here too. Yay, look at all this. I'm using these guys. These water, I don't know what they're called. Paintbrushes with water inside of them. And because to me, I mean, there's a real sort of there's a real benefit to these, in that one of the biggest problems that I find with using a number of different medium is that, like paints and inks and so on and so forth, is that you often find yourself having to have that reservoir nearby. Is it clean? Is it not clean? So on and so forth. And these guys eliminate that. They really do. Like, they just sort of take that problem out of the equation, and I appreciate that immensely. So I'm just throwing in some flesh tone values and different levels of wash, and I'm going to build up the face. Yes, Riri. Yes. What did I miss? The gold is my favorite. And Tori says, "Oh yeah, water brush. Thank you, Dee Dee. They're water brushes. Something so basic you think I'd remember it." Yeah, Pat Boone. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so great. It's there's another thing that I recommend if you're looking for some ridiculous covers of things, look up Pat Boone's metal album. Also look up a band out of Canada called Dread Zeppelin. Dread, Dread Zeppelin. It's Led Zeppelin and other 70s rock done with a kind of reggae vibe to it, sung by an Elvis impersonator. Canada, we get weird here, man. There's a lot of snow a lot of the year. You get up to some things in the cold. Yeah. I'm going to give you my love. Yeah. Am I any relation to Pat? I wish. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So good. I'm going to have to Google that now. That's hysterical. Run, Tori, run. Oh, we'll give you my love. Oh. Yeah, just imagine Led Zeppelin, but every now and then he goes, "You've been fooling, mama." I can't even do it justice. It's so great. Look up some videos. They performed a number of concerts, but look up the videos. You got your heavy metal guys, but with kind of a reggae vibe to their outfits. And Elvis. His name, by the way, is Tortelvis. Yeah, you're welcome. Why, Christopher? Why would you tell us these things? Why indeed? Huh? Why indeed? I'm going to move this over. I keep leaning this far away to look at the screen, and it's kind of dumb. Kind of dumb sometimes. All right, there we go. Okay, that actually even gives me a better idea of where we're going here. All right, so I'm into the flesh tone here. Now I've put a little more Pinky Magoo into it, just to give a couple little belts of color. But we're going to build up. I'm working on a heavy grade cardstock, and I'm trying not to push it too far, but because I'm using really washed out pigments, and so that I'm not putting down a lot of dense water on it at the same time, it's letting me move along pretty quickly. Nice thing I like about these guys is all of I've said this before with the water brushes, is that the fine control that it allows you to have by just squeezing some more water into the tip. So yeah. Oh no, I think I broke Riri today, everybody, and I'm sorry for that. I got all kinds of dumb things I can refer you to. I listen to a lot of weird music. I'm sure a lot of it, if Joshua Kemball's still here, I'm sure he knows a lot of it. Portage in Maine, 50 below. Yep. Yes, indeed. Randy Bachman and Neil Young. Oh, so many great songs. Even some of the songs by the Guess Who are fantastic. But Randy Bachman with You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, baby. That's making fun of his own brother, if you didn't know. His brother has a stutter. So, baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet, is him ribbing his own brother in what became a massive hit song. Fantastic. So I think I'm going to cut into just a sharper bit of red here. I'm not sure how well you're able to see this. I think it's coming across pretty okay. I used to be addicted to Neil Young. There is a comedy group from Canada here called Corky and the Juice Pigs, and they do impressions of people singing different songs, and the one guy does like one of the greatest Neil Young impressions I've ever heard. I just can't wait to get into the washroom. It's so dumb. Love that carpet, that cape Dred Zeppelin Elvis wears while delivering milk. Yes, Evan, yes. Heart of Gold, great song. For me, it's Harvest Moon, I think, is my favorite. Just because any song that starts with that voice going, come a little bit closer. The juxtaposition in those two elements are hilarious to me, because he's got such a unique voice, but other people would use that same voice to create really creepy characters. So, okay, one of the things that I'll do while I'm painting flesh tone is I put in green. And I'll put in these little green hits, these little green values like this, because it gives because of how the it works as a complementary color to the principally underlying red of flesh tone, Caucasian flesh tone. It does a fantastic job of diffusing those shadows without becoming this high contrast thing. But you got to put it down nice and light, right? How that's an interesting statement, by the way. How's one addicted to Neil Young? I know that means you play a lot of it. I used to play all this stuff on guitar. Nice. Guess Who? Band from Barbara's hometown. I hope his brother got some of the proceeds. Randy Bachman has taken really good care of his family, as far as I know. Neil Young, married to Daryl Hannah. Is he married to her now? She used to be married to Jackson Browne. He's got an interesting voice, yep. The Needle and the Damage Done. One of the first bands that I was in, we did piece of crap. It's just still one of my favorite Neil Young songs. It's a piece of crap. Piece of crap. Yeah. Okay. So I'm painting our character here, building up as I go. I did the rough contour shape here, but I really didn't get any farther than that in breaking down the pencils. And neither am I sort of really having to hold on to specifically what I put down to those pencils either. But what I'm really making sure to do, that as I do build up my lines and build up the marks that I'm putting down, is that I'm doing them in a very gentle, layered way, right? That's where my head is. He's actually very ill for most of his life. Don't remember what, but it was pretty serious. They're still married. Wow, cool. Here's my favorite Neil Young story. You ready? Neil Young called one of his friends over to visit him at his house in Alberta. And so he said, I want to play some of my new album. Take a look at this. Tell me what you think. So I got a few different Neil Young stories, by the way. So he says, well, okay, cool. Look forward to it. And Young goes, all right, get in a boat. And he gets his friend in a boat. And they drive out to the middle of the property that Neil has, and this pond in the center of it. And he's pointing remotes in the boat at this barn over there and this barn over there. And he starts playing his new album. And because of all the kit he's got from his band, from concerts, stored in those two barns, and he figures, well, if they're stored there anyways, why not use them? So he's playing his music. It's like a gigantic stereo, basically. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Neil Young stories. That, and he got hired by Much Music in Toronto to do an intimate and interactive. But the host of it was such a knob before they started. That they just spent the majority of that intimate and interactive basically tuning and then slightly plucking at songs and mostly hanging around and chatting, and as opposed to just sitting there on stage performing songs. Just a little educator for these hosts not to be too full of themselves. You're not the talent is the musicians. And he had his shirt on during it, and it was all about this shirt because he had a shirt on that said, all my heroes killed white people. It's got a picture of Sitting Bull. So, yeah, between Neil Young and Lauren Neal, realized that the total state of psychosis, stopped listening to both. Excellent. Speaking voice is pretty normal, I know, but it's Neil as a friend. Wow, yeah. I just like the idea of when you do impressions of people, I find it's a little more compelling to me that you say normal things in your impression voice. Like doing a Chris Walken impression is one thing. Doing a Chris Walken ordering a pizza, that's a whole separate, Honey, we're out of toilet paper. Come on, that's better. Sean Connery ordering donuts, right? Just something extra. All right, so now I'm putting in some different values from the different bits of information that are around, like the necklaces that the person's wearing. And as I'm putting in these different values, I go back through the previous part of the image, which is primarily just that I've painted so far, which is primarily really just the facial features. And I start cutting in these colors, which bring up some of the details a little bit more. And again, it's just working up. No black. I tend to use like a number and like an ultramarine. Kim Gordon's autobio has some great young stories. I can honestly say a fun thing in the course of my life is that I have met Thurston Moore and Kim Gordon. Came to play. Thurston came to play at an art gallery in the city I live in. And because the recording technician for Sonic Youth lives in London. So I had an opportunity to meet them. And I did not make a fool of myself, which is always a good thing. Okay, so I'm embedding some of the value of the flesh tone area into more of the image. I'm very lightly sort of sketching in for myself a little bit more of the composition this way. You'll usually find that you'll have at least one value working its way through. Now, other people, purists, will want to stick specifically to the rooted color, like because you're doing a watercolor. Oh, I just put this value down for that. I don't. I'm definitely not that guy. Okay, so I'm into an ochre yellow right now. Sean Connery ordering sprinkles on his donuts. Just him saying sprinkles is funny. Oh, yeah. Be kind to Sean. Dee Dee says he was a hunk in the hunt for an October. Yeah. I really want to hear Josh Kimball do an impression of Sean Connery putting sprinkles on his donuts. That's a request for Josh's next stream, I think. Yeah, there's a funny Sean Connery story as told by Andy Garcia that you'll get a kick out of. Hi, Chris. Welcome aboard. That Chris Walken impression was just Bezos sexy, Christopher. Okay, so I'm throwing some of this ochre into the flesh tone that I lightly put in here to build up the fabric on the person. And so I'm going to carry that through. Now, I'll do this thing. What I like about these brushes is I will flatten them whenever I want. So they have their nice rounded tip, but you can, as you put the pigment in, and you can run it along the surface of the side of your paint tin. Oh, sorry, it's just out of camera. So I'll put that on, and then I'll flatten it. And now you've got an incredibly wicked flat line on your brush for putting those marks down. And there's a real easy benefit to that. Christopher ordering sprinkles. Sprinkles. Put some sprinkles on the donut. What are you doing? Yeah. You need to hear Burton Cummings doing Gordon Lightfoot singing a Rod Stewart song, Maggie May. Burton's really cool. There's a photo up of Burton in my studio here. Me and Burton, he comes to London and he plays occasionally. And so he came into the store that I was managing, and we looked for old comics together for him to make buttons out of. And we talked about a bunch of stuff. But that was really cool to be able to meet him. He is a wickedly nice person. I cannot speak highly enough of how pleasant and earnest and he got a kick out of the fact that he didn't expect me to like sweet. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. It was nice. I really hated that I couldn't go and see him in that show that night because, one of my kids had something going on at their school. And I said, man, I feel really bad about this. But, one of my kids is getting an award at school tonight. And he respected that. He's like, no, man, it's your kids. I'm like, yes. But bad, but yes. Yeah. London's crazy. It's a big enough city to get people, but it's a small enough city to see them on the streets. A smack of sprinkles. It's pretty good. Oh, there you go. I've just come from my grocery shop and trying to avoid fries, Doritos, Cheetos, others. I did it. Only healthy food. Nice. Jim Varney in person was very earnest. Oh my goodness, this guy's on fire today, folks. That was so weird that it became really cool. What is that reference to? What did Barbara do? Oh, Burton Cummings doing Gordon Lightfoot singing a Rod Stewart song, Maggie May. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so I've got some of the structure built up here, and I penciled it in. Here's the best part of how Christopher works, folks. I penciled it in a color that I can't see because of the reflection of the light. So I'm still kind of winging it, but that's okay. So I'm using this ochre to lightly pencil in the arm of the person. I'm going to switch back over into that flesh color now. See, this is what I meant by this paint destabilizes pretty quickly. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to use it. It's going to be the best it can for us. All right, so I've got to put the wrist here, and then the hand is going to open up. Thumb, fingers, fingies. How many fingers do people normally have? That's right, 12. I'm just joking. I know it's 11. What am I missing? Good for you, by the way, Chris, and staying away from the fried foods. We're really trying to wisen up about sugar coming in our house. Snack foods as well, but sometimes they manage to end up in my cart. Here's a challenge for you. As a type 1 diabetic, I really can't be engaging in sweets anymore. And yet, it does not make it permissible for you to find every sugar-free sweet and put it in the cart instead. Which is what I'm constantly fending off. Well, this is, it's sugar-free. Low sugar here, hon. Let's get this, what's it called? Sugar smack? Yeah, let's get that. It says sugar-free edition. You can trust them. Why would they want to harm us with their foodstuffs? Okay, so I'm going to come in with an umber now and define a little more clearly some of these shapes. It's like it takes forever to get a result out of painting this way, I know, and I'm sorry for that. I also get in my cart sometimes. I think they get in everybody's cart sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. It happens. It's when you're eating them out of your cart as you're shopping. That's where it gets challenging. Got all quiet there, boy. He must have been concentrating. Oh, boy. Tomorrow I have pool time again if my sister comes. She's the snack manager, so she'll make sure we have pizza and lots of fries. Blink twice if you're being held against your will. You're much safe people here, Chris. if you're being forced to eat these snacks, here's a clown horn. Just I want you to sit at the side of the pool and like that, and we'll come running. We'll do our best. It'll take me a while to get there from Canada, but we'll do our best. So one of the things that I realize with some of my use of color is that I know it comes up really light, and it takes me forever to build it up. And I think that my decision not to incorporate black as prominently into my palette is the pure reasoning behind that is that, you know, that whole building up of value largely stems from that. But eventually we get there. Eventually. So just for those that, you know, need to be reminded, or those that don't know, today's page is Last Man Yodeling, suggested by the troublemaker, Mr. Jim Luan. So I'm just going to start painting in this accordion now. What'd you do today? Watch the guy paint an accordion. An accordion? Do they still make those? Yes. I can hear Janet. Get a ruler. So I put the hands in here really loosely. I'll define those just a little bit better, but I'm going to put a glove on the arm. And let's squinch that up at the wrist. Get some folds in it. Now, if you're comfortable when you're in your painting process to lay the whole thing out first and to draw in the entirety of the image, and then paint on that skeleton, do so. Or if you're really comfortable with just painting it and going for it, that works for you. There's no rules on that. Something you want. Hands are problematic to draw, but I try. I think hands are problematic for everybody to draw at some point, because it's something that is such a powerful defining part of who we are. I mean, you do everything with your hands, you know, except for that cowboy guy. I've seen him do some weird stuff with his feet, man. But it tends to make the drawing of hands, and then even more interestingly, feet, because feet are, most people approach feet like hands, and they're not. They're, you know, and they have such challenge with those. Or they'll just approach feet like an abstract, which is where you'll see a lot of illustrators do kind of weird takes on feet. Like there's a guy named Rob Liefeld who does sequential work, and for the longest time, his feet were spatulas, like triangle spatulas at the end of characters' legs, and these characters would be really overly defined with spatula feet. All that concentration that went into drawing so many other things, and just never bothered learning feet for the longest time. But my favorite excuse in the world that people use is, well, it's a style. Yeah. I stylistically work this way and do that part of the anatomy. Stylistically is a good thing to use if you're not feeling quite defined on something yet. It's a style. It's a style choice. So, like I said earlier, it's starting to build up now. Now, I've only stuck to these earth tones, and I'm going to start putting in some of the blue in a second. It's coming. It's getting there. Even if he even draws the feet, yeah. Lots of rocks and bushes block the feet in that guy's art. It's true. It's very true. And then there's other people that you'll notice. Wyeth, the senior, the father of the contemporary Wyeths, he would do all these pulp adventure images and book covers and things like that. And feet were always really prominent, like people kicking forward or swinging or all kinds of these sort of somebody standing on a rock, and you can really see fully the foot sitting on the rock, like it's somebody who incredibly clearly defined feet. And it's a strange thing. People do strange things like that. Like you'll see certain artists, they lean into certain things in their work, and power to them. I mean, that's very important. If you've got something that you feel comfort in while you're working. Yeah, buddy. So this is my first of this is my introduction card. So I'm going to draw her in the mountains in a second. We'll paint her in the mountains in a second and put those in behind her. We're just defining, building up that form. Am I missing stuff? Barbara says, people are strange when you... Doors quote. Doors quote. The Doritos thing gave 7 the chills. What's someone invited me for? Oh no! When some of you thought it was extra fries and it turned out it was for exercise. Oh no! One of my favorite responses ever was somebody I know. They've been asked, "Hey, you want to go work out?" And they immediately jumped to, "Excuse me, we don't know each other that well." I don't know what they thought that person said, but it was not working out. The other guy was so confused as he's telling me about it. I was like, I was so confused. I don't know what they thought I meant. Maybe they were legitimately offended by the fact you asked them to work out. I don't know. Okay, so here's our first person coming in now. Now, I'm going to jump over into it's a Prussian blue that I'm using here to build up. So I'm putting this Prussian blue in some of these same places that I put the umber, rather than using a black. Because it gives enough of a deep value hit. I'm doing that thing when you're drawing somebody with their mouth open in your eye. As you do it, it's so silly. I've seen lots of artists using those tricks to hide feet and hands. One artist I follow will always draw the arms behind the back to hide their hands. It's his drawing because of this. Isn't that something? Yeah, Salty picked up right away that Josh was talking about Liefeld. Welcome aboard, Malcolm. How you doing? Let's get physical. Another thing that I've noticed with a bunch of artists is it's very, very popular right now to draw these really forced perspective images. And I like them. I do like them. But there's at least one of those artists that they got let go from a job because they kind of always draw forced perspective in that sort of like everybody's, holding a camera up above a group and they're all looking up, so it's really forced. Yeah, they got let go from a job because they realized that is their thing. Everything they do is in that forced perspective. So, which is a really, really weird thing to me. But they got lots of people following them, and they like those drawings. I like those drawings, so that's a benefit for them to be no longer at that place that limits their forcing of perspective. Okay, so I'm running through the image with this Prussian blue and hitting many of these same places that I hit the umber to build up that more definable charcoal kind of a value. I also like when people draw everybody with their hands like this. Hold on a second. I'm doing okay. I can't straighten my fingers in this hand, but I can on this hand. They shake, yes, but all the hands are always like cupped like Barbie hands. It's ridiculous. Starting an aerobics class, Barbara. Oh my goodness! Everybody run and hide. J boys. Mr. Jim Lewin has joined us. Hi, Jim. Jim, I told people about your stream tonight, and make sure I get the times right. It's 10 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time. And he's got a special guest tonight of Mr. Gary. I can't believe it's not Butter Hodges. So, get a ruler, Christopher. So there's our accordion coming into shape. There we go. J-Day. Yes, J-Day. Of course it is, fellas. J-Day to you too. All right. So this is the umber and the Prussian blue together. And I generally just mix this right down in between the two different pigments right here on the tray as I'm going. Gary's rehearsing his lines for tonight's show. He has a Bob Fosse type guy yelling instructions. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Jazz hands. Jazz hands. Yeah, that's all. Bob Fosse. Where would Beyonce be without Bob Fosse? So this is where it's more of a direct mix together of the Prussian blue and the umber to get that sharp value itself without having to blend it up. So every application of it is pretty straightforward. Stop enjoying the ride. Stop enjoying the ride. I've jumped her hand off the keys, but that's okay. I'm trying to think of the placement of the keys on the accordion. All right, what am I missing? Gary's a great performer. Big hands, high fives. The DVSM musical number will go down in Broadway history. Bob Fosse rhymes with Rod Rossi, Insider Hyoke. Hey, it's Chad LeDuc. Welcome aboard, Chad. Chad LeDuc, for those that haven't met him yet, is a fine, fine illustrator. All right. So I'm going to move this here, and I'm going to put in a little bit of Hey Now, What Now in the background. I'm switching to another brush to do it. And so what I'm starting with is a really light, kind of a, a French green, like a really, well, it's not really a French green. It's just more like a really soft, washed out light green here as I put the hills in behind our accordion playing doodah. And it's the same value. I just ticked up the opacity a tiny bit than the first application. I think I'm going to end the panel there. If anybody wants to tell everybody else about what you're working on right now, please feel free to do share. So I'm going to tip out the accordion there, and then we'll all right, there's that. What am I missing? Lots of talk. Hi, Salty Jim led. I played Josh Kimball's record backwards and it said, yes, you well, you almost made me walk backwards there. Question of the day. Have you ever played a record backwards? Hands are busy with painting It's a mix of fantastic animals. Alabreas? I'm probably way off on that. Thanks. Back at you too. Tennis. I'm surprised you lived to tell the tale, Jay. Many who've played my record backwards are taken by the demons. Still can't find comic ground here. Must have movers that stuffed them in with my tools. Gotta love conspiracies. I'll have to figure out. I'll see if I've got anything here. Okay, so I'm running. So I've got into, this is a French French green now that I'm using. It's kind of like, well, I guess we kind of call it emerald here. It's the second one down from the top. And so I'm just throwing in some little bits of business in the background. Little green areas. Just to sort of build up that landscape there. Where are we at? 111. We're not doing too bad. Okay, I think I'm going to go a little sideways here. So this is a cyan, standard old cyan. And I'm so scared. I'm so scared to put the color down. That's how I used to always look at painting. When you're working with watercolor. What if I? But then, oh. And I realized that, so what? Make mistakes. Mistakes are what afford you the chances to learn. All right. See, now I gotta fix that. Grumble, 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 grumble. What am I missing? Sorry, I'm not paying enough attention to everything here, everyone. So construction anthology. I'm going to print on. Cool. That's very cool. Palpate backwards is lap tape. Fact. That's what I identify as a conspiracy theorist. My pronouns are "I told you so." Oh my gosh. Oh, Gary Hodges. He's getting ready, reading his lines over and over again for tonight's episode of "Hey Man, how's your movie going?" Come on, Chris. I know you must have played Ozzy's Diary of a Madman backwards in junior high. I've never played a record backwards, but I did try to play Dark Side of the Moon and Wizard Oz at the same time thing. It was dumb. I never did that. I waited until somebody made a video of it. And I thought, yeah, that saves me from wasting that time. Thank you very much. No, I never played a record backwards, largely because I couldn't figure out how. When I put a disc on, I mean, you're right, and I'm like, this is dumb. I can't hear anything. I also can't see magic eyes. You know, the people that can stand in front of the magic eye things and let your eye go loose and you'll be able to see the picture in behind. I've never seen one of those. I've never seen one. I don't know why. They make me mad. But I've never seen that image inside of a magic eye. Check it out. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Yes. And I'm always thankful when the person then says, it's a rocket ship. So I know exactly what it is that they saw. But I've never seen one. It's a conspiracy. Maybe it's a way of the government hurting us and separating us. Who can see the magic eye and who can't? It's how they're going to separate us when the aliens come. Okay, so I'm putting in the mountains. Hand pink waving. There we go. My sister once played one backwards because she heard a rumor of satanic messages and she wrecked her record. Okay, the one record that I dig over here, just to test that out, it was Hall & Oates. Oh my god. H2O. The H2O record. I heard nothing. I would worry about damaging a record. Yeah, I wrecked my H2O record. I buried Paul. Turn me and did, man. Turn me and did, man. I've never seen a magic eye either. I related so much to that dude, Mallrats. Oh my gosh, yes. What's fascinating about conspiracy theories is the assumption people can understand anything heard backwards. Junior high was filled with backward masking talk. There you go. Me neither, never once. I think it's because I have a super dominant eye. I often worry about developing what I call Beethoven eye or Mozart eye. If you've seen old busts of Beethoven, he's got this look. And I'm really concerned that I'm going to develop that look because I know for a fact that I do this kind of crazy eyebrow up thing when I'm working. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse there. Cut it out. Stop making your eye do that. Lori just walks up beside me and just claps me in the head so that oh, thanks, hon. No, she doesn't. That's a terrible thing to say. She does. No. Cut it out, Squinty. I've listened to Norwegian black metal. They say nasty things forwards. I see them all the time now, the magic eyes, since my one eye decided to head in its own direction. Well, there you go. There we are. Ozzy in an interview once said, "It's hard enough recording those things forward." Yeah. Beastie Boys made some rad backward beats. There you go. Salty snacks. Nicely done. There's a video I came across recently of Ozzy is brought. Somebody sits Ozzy down and somebody, what's going on, man? You know, and out comes it's a bunch of midgets doing Black Sabbath and little people, whatever I don't know what people are called. So, and he's just losing his mind with laughter. He thinks it's the greatest thing on planet Earth. I don't know if you get a chance to see that once after you've looked up Dred Zeppelin and Pat Boone doing heavy metal. Do not miss out on those opportunities. Robert Goulet does rap. Pat Boone does heavy metal. Corky and the Juice Pigs. They have a song called The Only Gay Eskimo. I know. And they do it as sung by Bob Dylan and R.E.M. and Van Morrison. The Van Morrison one flattened me when I heard him doing it. Somebody do an impression of Van Morrison. So good. Woo! Excuse me. Anyways, I used to mess with that in 4-tracks. Nice. One-page idea, backwards one-pager. I'll write it down. A backwards one pager. Should I write it down backwards? Okay, there's something I wanted to bring up, and I just looked at my notepad and saw it. A backwards one pager. Jim Luan. So at the start, if you didn't see the start of the stream, I showed some books. I'm going to show some books at the start of every stream for those that are joining late, and just pulling things off the shelf. Today I showed Dementia 21, volumes 1 and 2 by Keigo, which are fantastic mangas. If you get a chance to check them out, please do. And I showed the Cutting Edge book by Dimitri and Alberti, which is beautiful, an absolutely beautiful book. So if you get a chance, check those out. And waiting on my new stylist. Maybe I'll play New Kids on the Block afterwards. I hear it's fantastic. Where's Frankly when we got a New Kids on the Block reference? That was fun. Christopher, got to run. Have a good evening, guys. See you later, Didi. Thanks for coming and hanging out. You could record a song and flip the tape and record over backwards drums. Oh, that's awesome. That's a neat thing. I love that idea, Barbara says. Bye. A backward comic would be rad. One way is all sweet, the other way is sinister. Oh, that's fun. There's a book actually like that. It's The Reload Diary, and it's written by Steven Seagal. I've got it over on the shelf there. It's a book that you flip it over and it goes the opposite way. And really cool. It's really cool. The Reload loads in brackets. I'm saying brackets because Gary gets upset when I use the other word. And The Reload Diary. It's really good. If you get an opportunity to check that out, please do. Steve Seagal. Josh and Cash Comporter Studio 4-track. Those were the days. Yep. Stand by. My anthology flips at the center. Just kidding. Two covers called The Flip Sides. That's actually common. The watch annual that I've shown people that I was unaware of how expensive it was online, and I apologize again for that. But that has two sides. It's an annual from 1995 and 96. They just did it as one volume. But they do the same thing where they switch it. So that's how, anyways, I started the stream with showing some of these books. And if you weren't here for that, please feel free to check that out later on. Go back and take a look at some of these books. I show some of the interiors of them. I'm going to show a new book every day, at least a book. Probably a few books each time. Who are we kidding? But just because I've tried to figure out a way to sort of promote and support and encourage other people and looking up different kinds of art styles and pieces that are done by people that you may well not have been exposed to. So this might be the way to do it. It's just to show a new book each day in the stream. So if you look at yesterday's stream, I did that there as well. So okay, so I've just got kind of a washed out gray that I'm going over some of these green areas that I put down before and just splotching in some of these textures in order to simulate the, different planes in the background behind her. So I think it was the ochre that I used at the onset for defining some of her costume. So I'm going to start throwing some of that down in here. And we'll finish putting in the EIO machine. Accordion, that's what it's called. The EIO. That backwards idea reminds me of a Seinfeld episode. It was a wedding in India. Oh, nice. I don't remember that one. I have to look that up. Jason Shiga does some cool reverse paneling stuff as well. There's another guy, Wadehofer does as well. He does some pretty great stuff as well if you're looking for it in sequential. Shiga does it, and then is it Wadehofer? Yeah, I think it's Weidhofer. I'm just looking up at the shelf. I'm not running to pull down all these books, but I will grab the reload. I will grab the reload because this was Steve. Steven gave me this. We had him at a show. Man of Action Entertainment is Steve Siegel, Joe Casey, Joe Kelly, and Duncan Rouleau. And so Steven gave me this book, and with it, he did it with Teddy Christensen, who's an amazing, amazing artist. And so there's the Reload Diary, or the Read Diary, and the Red Diary. Sorry, but he called it the Reload. So it even has to flip like that. Isn't that great? And Teddy Christensen is a wonderful painter. Like he's got this elegant line. It's just this soft simplicity in his work. And then halfway through our book, the narrative flips. Ooh. So yeah, there's another book to check out. You got 4 books today, folks. 4 books. Steven Seagal, he is a sheriff, by the way. He's been a sheriff for 20 years. Pull over your car. I'm giving you a ticket. Yeah, that'd be great. Got to connect soon. Go for coffee at some shops. Living in Woodstock now. Nice. Yes. That's right. That's right. One of the most upsetting movies you'll ever watch, Irreversible, has the scenes arranged backwards. Yes, it does. That is an awkward film. Also, watch Memento, because there's a whole bunch of different plot points in Memento that are counterintuitive. So I'm going to switch back to this guy. And throw in a little bit of this. Gotta go. Time to start fixing lunch here for Dad and me. Hey, thanks for coming by, Chris. It's great to see you. Have a great lunch. Christopher, is that dude going to be wearing lederhosen? I have this terrible urge to shout out, Ricola! Give me time. It'll happen. Perhaps as everyone is wearing these clothes backward in the comic. Oh, there you go. I think they might. Take care. Bye, Chris. Bye for now. We'll see you later on. Have a good day, guys. Heading to lunch. Great stream, Chris. Thanks, Josh. Have a great day. And Chris says bye to everybody. Yeah. No, this is not lederhosen, but if give me enough drinks, and there will be. No. All right, so I'm putting in some of these little textures like I did up above. But here's our crazy person. And I'm going to put that flesh tone that I did earlier. Actually built up of 2 flesh tones from 2 different paint sets. But we'll get some of these fingers in up here. Can't you just hear it? E-I-E-I-E-I-O. No? Too soon? And I built up the colors in the glove using, for those that weren't here, umber and Prussian blue. So get a little more into that here. Where are we at? Josh is out. We'll be saying bye to Josh. Chris. Okay, good. Just trying to stay caught up with everybody, folks. I hate to make people feel like I've missed their comments. Appreciate everybody coming and hanging out and engaging with one another. We also talked about some music at the start of the stream you might want to check out, which includes Corky and the Juice Pigs, Dread Zeppelin, and Pat Boone covering heavy metal songs. And tonight, yeah, I'm off to Neverland. Yeah, good stuff. You know, hip with the kids. Now I've got this ochre. I'm just putting a couple of little spots in here into the face. Just pull those values around a little bit. There's an antique mall over in Brownwich. Lots of comics, toys, and stuff. Great way to burn up an afternoon deep diving for gems. Yeah, is that the 3rd or 4th floor place in Woodstock? With the concrete steps that creak? Concrete that creaks when I walk on it? It's not easy being a person afraid of heights and looking down at your feet. What am I looking for? The Umbra. There we go. That's one of the fun things about old antique malls is that I generally find, for the most part, around this area, that they're located in old, should probably be condemned buildings. And that's a little bit scary. A friend of mine haunts this place in Woodstock on the weekly, and he's constantly finding really cool stuff. And I went there with ourselves and our friends. We went there one afternoon, and I walked out of there with a Fisher Price play set of Sesame Street of all the things for me to buy. That's what I bought, so that we have that in the room for the grandkids to play with. And unfortunately, they don't watch Sesame Street anymore, these kids. It's crazy. That dude on the accordion should be one of the Schmengi brothers from SCTV, John Candy, Eugene Levy. Oh, yeah, the Schmengi brothers. Come on, come along with me. It's polka time. John Candy on a clarinet's too good. Okay, so we've got this this person in here a little more clearly defined. I'm just going to play in the background a little bit with just a second green, just to kick this up, give a little more light to the image. SCTV was such a fantastic program. SCTV is on the air. All right, that's coming fairly well. I'm pretty pleased with that. This is a pretty solid emerald green at this point that I'm using. Barbara's on her way out. Thanks, Barbara. Thanks for coming in today. It was really nice to see you. Where are we at? We're at an hour 34. Usually I wrap up an hour and a half, 2 hours. Let me get a little bit more in this. So the idea with this page is yodel. What is it? The Last Man Yodeling, suggested by Jim Luan. It's his fault. So the intention here is I'm going to do it like kind of a weird Scandinavian. Come along, kids! It's time for us for the fun times, and just so you can imagine this person going, and then it's just going to be images and images and images of people going, oh! and yodeling like lunatics. Here we have Mingur Schmingy as he yodels the constant melody of, your goats are over here in our valley. Please come and get them. A traditional piece that goes back many centuries. Now we have a song by Igor Noftarchuk. It's called "My Sister is Fit for Marrying." Who's gonna take her up on it? Yeah, classy songs like that. Classic cultural appropriation. If the weight of comics at the mall to give the comic collectors for free. Ooh, there you go. Nicely done. That's how you do it. Got ahead, but awesome stream. Thanks, Christopher. Bye all, and thanks for the message and Instagram. Hey, thank you, Tori. Tori's super cool. All right, so this same ochre, I'm just dabbling throughout the background here. I could probably at some point stop working on this piece and move on. It is allowable. Stop it before you kill the thing. Just let it go. Just walk away. There we go. Hey, this person's having a great time. What are we at? Okay, so there's the first image is our person playing along with the accordion. And I'm going to introduce this as a Snappy Hits record. Snappy Hits show. There's if you get an opportunity, there are some absolutely ridiculous Scandinavian short films that going to this one. It's just the Boski family inserted their own sauna at their property more than 5 years ago, and it's just this family standing in the snow, and then they all walk into the little wooden shack, and they all come out of the wooden shack in their bathing suits and just drop themselves into the snow and walk back into the wooden shack again. I love these ridiculous old movies. But the narration that goes over top is absurd. So that's the inspiration that I'm taking for this page. Okay, well, we got the first panel done. We're on our way. Okay, what are we at? 138. So each subsequent panel is just going to be different yodelers doing the thing that they do, and to just carry over the yodeling fun like it's a competition of some kind, and to see who the last man yodeling is. It's ideas like this that really, really make me happy that people are taking part in this whole process of ideas and suggestions just thrown into the ether. And if you enjoy these things, if you see some of these ideas that are suggested by people or anything that I'm working on or have worked on, and you have a different take on the same suggestions, and I list the suggestions in the errata and the text underneath my posts, so you should be able to see what the suggestion was for any given page. So Try them out. Give them a go. Yeah, there's unending possibilities what one person is going to do, having nothing to do with the person beside them is working on with the same suggestion. And to me, that is so compelling and such an exciting opportunity. So if you feel inspired or instigated to do so, please do. And I'd love to see it. I'd really love to see it. And you know, this is the book, just before I wrap things up today. This is the book that I did last year. It's the one-page comic extravaganza. And this is in portrait format, so which is why it's called the comic extravaganza. And it's all mixed media like I normally do here. And there's a couple of 2-page pieces, like this gatefold thing about a berserker that just wants a little bit of me time during a raid. Silly stuff like that. That's what we put out last year. The one that I'm in the process of putting together with the publisher now is one-page story extravaganza, which is in a landscape format. Portrait format, landscape format. And so it'll open this way. Okay. And so we've put together 60 pages for that. So I'm very excited. And I've tried to list at least the first name of the people that gave me the suggestions for that. And I hope to heavens that I got everybody. I think I did. Yeah, so I think that if you want to do those things, you're more than welcome to do so. If you're looking to see the originals, I put them up on my Patreon, where you can see them there. And big thanks again to my 2 big Patreon supporters of James and David. Those guys are awesome. And yeah, if you want to see each week's one pages that I've done, I put those on my Substack. And most of my stuff is all just my name or some variation therein. So it's not hard to find stuff. I'm missing a lot of conversation here, aren't I? Tori left. 7 is happy face laughing. Polar showers. Oh, there's Robert Met. How you doing, sir? Who let the dogs out? You let the dogs out. I've got to go. Hopefully to see you guys tonight at 7 on. Hey, man, how's your movie going? Thanks for telling folks. Hey, that's 7 o'clock PST, 10 o'clock EST for Jim Luhan's show. It's a streaming show talking about the making of his newest animated film. So check it out. Have a good one. Fire me a text. Yeah, let's do that. I've got a CIA cargo plane to catch. Those illegal drugs or weapons are going to distribute themselves. Shh. Beautiful Euroman swimwear in the snow. Nothing like it, Christopher. There you go, 7. Woohoo! Shout out on the podcast. I'm famous. Oh, hey, there we are. Okay, yeah. Everybody take a bow. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up for today. Sorry, Robert, I know you just got here. But I'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I'll be posting this page tomorrow. Like I said, if you want to see originals from the pages that I do, go check it out on the Patreon. It's like $3 a month. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Thanks very much, everybody, for coming in. Bye for now.